The Oasis of Dreams is an idea of mine that it's been like fermenting the past 20 years. So now in this particular video, I'm going to explain why we gotta build it. Why? The answer is very simple. Why not? Why did they build Central Park? Why did they preserve Central Park? It's the same reason of why the Oasis of Dreams must be built. And my idea is to build it right in the middle, in the heart of Qatar. We have a video where I pinpoint the center of Qatar. That's where all the forestation will start. By forestation, I mean planting millions of trees that will just generate oxygen into the world. I would call them more like containers of water, because without water, there is absolutely no life. So those containers of water basically will feed all the surrounding plants, all the surrounding trees, all the forestation of Qatar. The first step of this project is very simple. It's called excavation. We will excavate probably like, I would say, like a meter, the shape of the pool. I want to build this pool more or less 60 centimeters so that it's not deep and the water will circulate on it all the time. It will go straight to the plants. After the excavation, we will have to fill up the surrounding of those pools with some fertile ground so that those trees will flourish on it in a few years. And the first step, I think, to save the world is by planting millions and millions of trees. It's the first step making the world greener. It's a lung. Qatar will have like a pulping lung in the middle of Qatar. A very important part of this project is also the piping system, because every tree needs water. Without water, it will die. After the excavation, the whole project gets like a metal structure. It's called rebar. We will rebar the whole project. After the rebar, we will have to pour concrete. And there will be a lot of concrete. The lights will be very, very important as well, because nighttime will become a lamp in the middle of the desert. And they could be seen literally from satellites, especially at night. The project will be a self-sustained, maintenance-free project. The water will purify itself by using solar robots. So the project itself does not need anybody, and my product itself is meant to last thousands and thousands of years. I mean, but I can assure you that 20 years later, this thing looks spectacular, just like the first day. And I can assure you, for another couple of thousand years, it will look spectacular. But either way, it's an Italian product, and this product comes actually from the Arab world. You guys invented this. The funny part is that my last name, Furnari, is an Arab name as well. Furn means oven. I use fire literally on a daily basis. With my last name, that means the person that attends the oven, and probably my last name is, I don't know, I would say a couple of thousand years old. A couple of thousand years later, I'm still using the fire. Why are we building this? Why should we build this and not build, I don't know, another skyscraper, a 50-floor skyscraper? Because green, it's something that takes years to create. And we need as much green as possible. For me, it's a very easy project. Of course, every project we need as much financial support that we can. Doha is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Of course, the whole project, it's a made in Qatar project. Made in Qatar, I cannot stress this enough. Made by people from Qatar, and show the world how great Qatar would be. With this project, the Oasis of Dreams will be put in the map of the world. Of course, on my last trip to Qatar, the fact that we can paint and we can fire all this material, all this artwork that I have there already, it will just make things much quicker and more easier to build, because when a product does not need to be imported, that changes the whole scenario. Meaning, like, the product made in the factory in Doha could be installed literally a day or 2 days later. I would say a little bit shocked of the great quality that this factory, Uniceramic, is using in Qatar. The product is actually like pure porcelain. What's the difference between ceramic and porcelain? Porcelain has, in a few words, has some materials in there that at high temperature they melt. So it's literally like playing, firing glass, and it does not absorb. And the sun will not affect, the heat will not affect the quality of the artwork. And once again, the Arab world invented all this. Me, I come from Sicily. I'm a product of the Arab world, because once they conquered Sicily, they left this technique to all local artisans. For sure, the Altani family in Qatar are a great inspiration, because they see behind any other part of the world. I'm absolutely in love with Doha, Qatar, what the dream of Qatar represents. And this is like part of the dream, in a way, of Qatar. Of course, you know, the World Cup had like a huge impact on Qatar, but I still know and I believe that Qatar needs a landmark at this level that can be seen from the satellites, from the skies, that nobody else in the world will have. To me, Qatar is like literally like a white canvas. The desert needs something. The desert needs trees, water, life, birds. My dream is to create a little Amazon from Brazil and rebuild it, recreate it right in the middle of Qatar. Qatar is a nation, and I felt like I was part of, not a nation, like I felt I was part of a family, and that changes everything. I felt safe in Qatar. You know, I could see myself living in Qatar. Safety, there is no price on safety. I'm doing things right now that I would say like 30, 40 years ago, I wouldn't even dream of. The final message is like, give me an opportunity. You know, like the same people, like here, this was back then, still now a small project. You know, everything is always, there is always one thing called trust. You know, right now I'm still trying to gain the trust of whoever got the financial power to make this dream a reality. It gives me joy when I create something. It gives me happiness. It takes all my sadness away just looking at my work. It gives me peace. The same peace I want to transmit, the same peace, the same joy to whoever looks at my work. We're going to produce a real documentary / movie of the building of this Oasis of Dreams. People will come from all over the world to enjoy and to be part of this Oasis of Dreams. The idea of having children planting those trees, it's something that has literally no price. Because if you can teach a child how to plant a tree, and every child in the world will plant trees, it's not going to be the end of global warming, but it will definitely help a tiny, tiny bit. So Qatar must show the world that is capable of turning a desert into a forest. And I know that the royal family are capable of this. They are the only one in the world that are capable of this, because you have the intelligence that other leaders in the world do not have. The Emir of Qatar, that to me represents a hero on how he's running Qatar, how he organized the World Cup, how everything went peaceful, no accidents. If you think about it, it takes a great leader to run a country where no accidents or no crime occurs. How much is that worth? That's priceless. That's why I could see myself with my family living in Qatar. Everything is always in the hands of Allah. Inshallah, inshallah, this dream will come true. And I know it will come true because Allah always listens to us.